What's up, guys? It's Joe Sullivan from Strength the Sullivan Way. I wanted to start this video off with saying don't bench distracted, because you'll end up misloading the weight and almost get a 3-rep PR. As you can see, that's what I did here. I loaded up 385 when I wanted to go for 370, and I don't even know how it happened, but I almost hit it for 3 reps, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, so then I knocked it down to 370 and hit my triples. This video takes place over 2 different workouts, a bench workout and then a deadlift workout. Bench, I just do my normal triples, and then do some overhead press at 225 just because I still want to bring my shoulders up. And then deadlift workout, I do deficit pulls and then block pulls, and I actually hit a 5-plate front squat, which was cool. But the reason I wanted to make this video is because I wanted to touch on the 3 main things that I try to focus on, or that I wish every novice powerlifter would focus on, and that is learning the movements correctly, so performing a sufficient amount of volume of the big movements to actually figure out how to do them properly, adding muscle mass in general, and tracking their food. When a novice starts out, each session could be different, the way they squat, the way they bench, the way they deadlift, just because the movement pattern isn't ingrained in them. So that's why one of the best novice programs and one of the most reliable to get good lifters out of it is Jim Wendler's 531 Big on the Basics, or Big by the Basics, or whatever the actual name is of it, because it just forces you to do 5 sets of 10 repetitions on the big movements. And that's why one of the best things I ever did for my training was Shiko, because by forcing you to do such a high amount of volume, what with submaximal weights as your top sets, and then down sets with like slightly less amounts of weights, you know, and then just doing variations of the big movements as your builder exercises, it allows you to just get each movement down and make it as efficient as possible, which Mike Teixeira, he's a big advocate of just making each power lift as efficient as possible, just so you can actually be a successful power lifter and move the most amount of weight possible. And then the second portion that I wanted to touch on for a novice power lifter trying to get into it is actually spending some time doing some hypertrophy work and adding some muscle mass, because that's one of the downfalls with a lot of these RPE programs and programs that just focus on increasing your 5-rep max. I believe, me personally, that actually having a muscular base and some tissue behind the strength is incredibly beneficial for both injury avoidance and the potential to become stronger in the future. Because if you do spend some time doing hypertrophy work, like let's say doing a program like Lane Norton's FAT, or variation of that, the more muscle tissue that's there, the larger the cross-sectional area of the muscle there is, and then theoretically this allows you to recruit more muscle fibers and more motor neurons throughout the movement, which gives you a higher potential for strength output, which is why I'm a big advocate of novices not just going in and doing doubles and triples and just testing that, not testing their strength, but building. I know it builds your strength, and I know you're still going to get a hypertrophic response out of it. But if you neglect the one of the variables, which is time under tension, just through the completion of like high repetition or higher repetition sets, like 8 to 12 to 15 reps even, you limit the hypertrophy that you can achieve. And then thirdly, is the tracking of food, or at the very least the tracking of protein, because this allows you to figure out what your body needs to grow and just what allows you to perform better in the gym. Me personally, I try to stay as on point with my nutrition as possible. I have pre-workout carbohydrates, I have intra-workout carbohydrates, and I have post-workout carbohydrates, just because that's what allows me to perform to the best of my ability. And because I tracked my entire calorie intake for so long, if I had to eyeball stuff, and like let's say I went out to dinner and I had to eyeball or guesstimate the amount of calories that I was consuming at that dinner, I could do it because I spent so much time weighing my food and figuring out how much of something is actually there when you just look at it. And that's very, very beneficial for someone who wants to lose weight, gain weight, or even maintain a weight if you're like me and just want to hang out at one weight, so you can either go 220 or cut down using water to get down to 198. But that was a brief video. I just wanted to make that commentary on what I like to have novices focus on and what I think novices need to focus on more. And this front squat was so painful, just I can't even describe the pain that you feel when you put that on your front delts. But find me on social media, stay in touch for the videos, send me any questions you got. Talk to you guys later.